everybody, it's the Last Raider. We are back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about the Rewriting Ripley group that's been started with all the Raylos and the stupidity of these idiots trying to target one individual or try to make a pariah out of D-Day Cobra, also known as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Basically, pretty much in a nutshell, these idiot Raylos, these are the same idiots, mind you, that are giving Adam Diver and his wife hell right now. Simply because Adam Diver has a wife in real life, and it's not Daisy Ridley. And they want him and Daisy Ridley to get together in real life, to the point where they are harassing his wife. At some point in time, I'm going to have to get all that together and do a video on it. But what is happening now is they have had a time with the Fandom Menace, and a lot of the people that have been working in the Fandom Menace, a lot of people who have been critical of Disney, Star Wars, and Kathleen Kennedy, to the point that they have now come out and they are attempting to make Jeremy, also known as D-Day Cobra, also known as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, they're attempting to make him out to be Emperor Palpatine, if you want an example. And they're doing this because they think, in my mind, I think honestly, they've been doing multiple hits, they've been going after multiple channels, and they've been doing it in such a way where they'll send a whole bunch of data. The plan is pretty simple, honestly, when they do it. Jeremy from The Quartering mentioned it, and it does make a lot of sense. It is a pretty decent strategy. It is something that a lot of political, sometimes even lobbyists will do in politics, is they will come in, and you also saw it with, what was it, the stimulus bill that happened, the $400 one, where they sent hundreds of millions of dollars overseas, but sent like about $1 million to the American people. They put up a deal that was several hundred pages long, so long you didn't have time to read through it, and then Pelosi forced a vote on it to push it through both the House and the Senate. This is basically what the SJWs are doing, except they're sending these massive just info dumps of information. And mind you, the information, a lot of it has been found it's not even relevant. I think some of it may just be like porn statistics or something, women's numbers or crap like that. And they're just info dumping this over onto YouTube and telling them, hey, you know what, these people are racist, and here's all our data on it. And they're looking at it like, wow, you got a lot of data here, it must be true. And so they're Chevron differential, if you don't know what that means. Basically, they're just deferring to someone who they think is the higher authority. In this case, the people handing them the information. Jeremy from The Quartering has talked to them. I haven't seen the video on him talking to them yet. I'll have to watch it. But right now, they've now shifted tactics very quickly. This is an interesting group of SJWs right here, Raylos. They're apparently, in my opinion, they are, I'm not going to say stupider. Well, yeah, I will say stupider. They're stupid, but they're also more clever than other SJWs. And yes, you can be both. You can be both clever and stupid at the same time. Stupid just means you're not learning the lesson. Clever just means you're inventive. And apparently these SJWs are pretty inventive. They went from attacking everyone to now trying to make Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers the center figurehead. And I think they're doing this because they think Jeremy is a linchpin. They believe somehow or another that if they remove him from the equation, that Geeks and Gamers will completely fall apart. In reality, it won't. But what they've done is they've gone on there and said Jeremy Hambley is being controlled by Geeks and Gamers, that Doomcock is being controlled by Geeks and Gamers. Doomcock, of all people. They've gone through and been picking up. It's insane. They're trying to make Jeremy out as if he's this big Well, as if he is Cobra Commander, which I honestly, Jeremy, I think that is something you should applaud for yourself. Pat yourself on the back, man. You've been declared the Emperor or Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe. They're now trying to get rid of him because they think if they remove Jeremy, and it makes sense if you think about it from an outside perspective. Once you understand how Geeks and Gamers works, you realize it's not that effective a strategy. They're simply going to remove one chess piece off the board. And what they're wanting to do is remove one chess piece that apparently they think is tied with fishing line to other chess pieces. And by removing that one chess piece, it'll remove the rest of them off the board. It doesn't work like that. But what's happening here is they want to make Jeremy out to be this pariah because their belief is you've got this large group of geeks and gamers, and Geeks and Gamers does make up the majority of the opposition towards Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars nonsense. And they believe if they take out Jeremy, they take out Geeks and Gamers, they think they're going to knock a whole swath out of the enemy in one fell swoop. They're going to take a huge army out of the equation right then and drastically weaken the Fandom Menace and ultimately most of the opposition towards what Kathleen Kennedy is doing, which is probably honestly not going to happen. Jeremy, even if they remove him from YouTube, there's a couple of reasons why this is not going to work. One is just the fact of Jeremy, if he wants to, he could step down from Geeks and Gamers and could run it from the shadows if he wished. He could unofficially step down. He could just say Ryan Kimmel is in charge or Young Ripa is in charge or something like that. Whoever he wants to put in charge. He could put Anna, that Star Wars girl, in charge. And Jeremy could pretty much just run it from the shadows. He could step down as the big guy and just put someone in charge in name only. And they would probably do that because they've created this situation, and these Raylos have, where everyone on Geeks and Gamers, the opposition towards all this is, it's not that people are coordinating. Most of this, it looks coordinated. There's actually like a group of hawks over in Nevada that makes a perfect example of this. Some of them will run on the ground chasing a rabbit. Some of them will fly overhead trying to swoop down and attack the rabbit. And at first you would think, oh, these hawks, they're communal. They must be a communal form of hawk. They're coordinating. Reality, they're not. There's just so many damn hawks in this one area that all the hawks are attacking one rabbit at the same time. And so it looks as if they're so desperate, they're not worried about fighting the other hawks. They're just intent on getting that one rabbit. And so the opposition against Lucasfilm is the same way. It's not a coordinated, manufactured effort. It is an organic response. The difference is there's a lot of voices that are coming in and saying the same exact thing. It's just everybody's recognized this is shit. A lot of the fan base recognizes Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars is shit. The second thing that's working against the SJWs in this, or the Raylos, is timing. Jeremy is going to eventually, Jeremy's got his own website going. This is usually the moment when you get a website going, you are about immune from YouTube's crap going forward. Even if they were to go after you, you kind of have your own money, your own monetary force, and a lot of people will go over there and they will literally pay for the type of entertainment that they want. The type of entertainment that Geeks and Gamers provides, they will pay for it. Their fans are going to go in there, they'll pay $9.99 a month, whatever Jeremy wants to charge, and they'll probably pay it. The other thing that's going to hurt SJWs is also, and this is a more long game problem for them, Trump is now launching his own social media network. And if that is successful to the point where it can compete with Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, what are they going to do? Trump has the money and the capital to continuously just keep the herd on. And if Google is losing massive amounts of money in their social media networks, and Trump is only gaining power in his social media networks, this is going to play against them. Like I said, that's an extremely long-term deal, but once that is up and going and people start moving over there, you're going to have more conservative voices are going to have a voice. Whether it will be equal, we don't know. I would hope it would be. But we're going to see, in the very near future, we're going to see at least a platform come up, I think, if done properly, will not only be on equal footing business-wise with these other social media giants that we're dealing with now, but it will also level the political landscape to a degree, which will prevent these weirdos on the left and these really far left crazies from overrunning entertainment, overrunning anything. Right now, they have the megaphone. They have the louder voice. And once you level that playing field, more logical voices will eventually overwhelm them on a level playing field. That's where we're going. But as far as Jeremy is concerned, I don't think they're going to get rid of him. If they do delete him, YouTube would have to go through and delete a lot of other channels. And that would require another purge, which, honestly, YouTube is facing so many competitors at this point. BitChute is becoming better. I've heard Odyssey is becoming good. I think Nerd Wonder told me today that there's a place called Lindell, I think. That's a new video sharing site I've never heard of. I'm thinking about checking out myself. But on that, you've got all these other options. YouTube is looking at every time they do this, they're sending some creators that could get them money, moving a lot of their channels and a lot of their content over to these other alternatives and diversifying. It's only been hurting them in the long run. And especially when you got Jeremy from the Quartering going in there and several others, and also Steven Crowder is also filing lawsuits against YouTube, is now going after them pretty heavily and preparing. Well, I don't know if he's filing lawsuits against YouTube, but I know he's filing lawsuits against Twitter and Facebook and several others. They are fixing to have to face financial recourse for all the slander that's been going on and all the violations of civil liberties. We'll put it to that. We'll say that right there. But ultimately, it's going to cause... These people don't realize that if they were more subtle, they could probably get away with things. But they're never subtle. SJWs are, you have to remember, this is the microwave dinner Uber Eats generation. Like, I come from the microwave dinner generation. You know, you get up, you put a food in the microwave, you cook it, you sit back down and watch TV. These are the people who call Uber Eats, get mad at Uber Eats because they're not there fast enough, spit in Uber Eats' face because they didn't get there quickly enough, and then try to shortchange Uber Eats because you weren't here instantaneously right after I called. That's the type of morons you're dealing with. But ultimately, yeah, I've rambled on this enough. I'm rambling on here now. But yeah, their lack of patience here trying to destroy geeks and gamers has just... It's also done something really bad for SJWs, as it's now taken and gotten them all to sort of put themselves on a list for more moderate and conservative YouTubers to kind of make fun of. So now we know when these people hop on and all this crap, and they thought this was clever doing this nonsense. It worked for a little bit if they hadn't have pushed it so far. If they had just worked, smacked a YouTuber like once every 2 or 3 months and been patient, they might have been, by the time Jeremy had figured out what was happening, it had probably been too late, and YouTube would have said, well, we've done this so much so far and it's been good for the site, and you didn't notice it until then. Maybe this is just people, not liking your content or some nonsense. They might have gotten away with it. But ultimately, Jeremy being, I guess I'll say Hail Cobra Commander right now and let it go. Anyway, tell me what y'all think in the comments about this nonsense. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. And as always, stay safe, stay frosty. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye now.